Hey, what's going on? So today I want to talk about fear and how we can combat that. What can we do about it? Anytime we want to start a new venture, it's awful because we know we're gonna suck. And that's the thought that holds us back is the fear of failure, the fear of judgment that we're not good. But the truth is your first time doing anything is gonna be bad. That's literally normal. And so your fear of that is it's strange because you're scared of something that's normal. It's a prerequisite for transformation. Judgment and sucking is literally a prerequisite for great transformation. I started up this YouTube channel as a way to inspire anybody. Like, look at these videos. They freaking suck, man. I press record on my freaking computer and I go. I don't have an editor. I don't have anything fancy. I just press record and I go. And I suck. Look at the quality of the content. And I do this because I hope it inspires somebody to take a leap of faith and do something they want to do despite the judgment they're going to get, that they're going to receive, despite the fear that they have, despite all of that. Because the truth is, when you just start and you suck, there is only one way up, and that's this way. It's up. You can't get any worse because you already suck. How much worse can you get? The more you do it, you're just going to get better and better and better. We feel best when we what? We feel best when we progress. And as we progress, we feel good. We're like, look at me. I'm slowly getting better. I'm talking better. I'm slowly getting closer to the end goal. The richest place in the world. Can you guys guess where it is? And a phenomenal man said this. I can't recall his name, but he goes, the richest place in the world is not the bank, it's not a business, but it's the grave, where thousands and millions of dreams are destroyed and they never come into fruition. That's the richest place in the world. It's the freaking grave, man. So don't let your dreams, the most valuable thing that you have, get washed away and just end up in the grave. You have one life. We're not gifted with two. We're blessed with one. And we're lucky enough to say that we have a life. So make the best of it. Anything you want to do, go full throttle. Just go. I'm very vulnerable when I tell stories about how I used to sleep in this exact room. I'm blessed, and I do believe in God, and I try not to talk about it too often because there's so much controversy, but I personally believe in God. And I'm blessed enough that God took me out of that position. This couch right here, I still have it here to remember how it felt to freaking sleep right here. This room right here. I have a room right here. This was my closet. I didn't bathe. I didn't have money to put in my car. I didn't have gas. I had to go to a gym that was close by. I couldn't even drive home. Like, I bathed every 1 or 2 days. And I would just sit here and weep and sulk. I remember. That's why the couch is still here. Like, this drives me. Like, this couch right there. You're not going to be good your first time. You're not going to be good your second time. But on a long enough time horizon, you're going to be the best. But you can't expect it to happen in 3 months. You can't expect it to happen in 6 months. And you definitely can't expect it to happen in 12. And this is not some mumbo jumbo motivation. Like, I am showing you. Look at my freaking YouTube. Look at the quality of these videos. I press record and I just go. And on a long enough time horizon, 5 years down the line, we will return back to these videos and we're going to be like, what the heck, man? Like, oh my gosh, I remember this moment. I remember when I was in this room pressing record and just talking to a freaking computer screen. And that's beautiful. That's called leaving something for people. I wish I was able to see Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk document their beginnings. My gosh, I would have watched to get inspired. And I hope this inspires somebody. Not because I'm oh so righteous and holy and I'm somebody. It's because I'm a nobody. And I just go, and I don't care what people say, because the truth is, when you have a stack of evidence to the contrary, what people say doesn't affect you. Like right now, if people say, Thompson, we hate your black collared shirt, I would be like, okay, whatever. Because I have a stack of evidence to the contrary that this is not a black shirt, it's a white shirt. So if people tear you down and they judge you and they say this and this about you, if you're affected, maybe it's true. And if you're not affected, it's because you have a stack of evidence to the contrary, that you are who you say you are. We have so much potential, we're limitless. And yet society and the world chains us down by the ankles, by the hands, like we're chained down, limited by our own belief in ourselves. And it's not because we don't believe in ourselves, it's because people don't believe in themselves. And so since they don't believe in themselves, when you dream, they say, no, it's not gonna happen. Like, what? And we allow that to stop us? Don't chase your dreams, because to say you chase your dream indicates that your dream is running. And whatever is meant for you would never dare run away from you. Whatever is meant for you comes to you naturally. It abides by the laws of nature and it comes to you with no effort. Like it comes naturally. Like it gravitates towards you. So don't chase your dreams, become your dream. Embody your dream. Like go, fuck fear. Screw everything else, go. Like go at it and go crazy. Don't let your family hold you back. Don't let your peers hold you back. If you're in a position where you want to get out of the city you came up in, I encourage that. You know why people get out of the city they grew up in? It's because people that grew up with you have an image of what you should be. And so when you start to transform and you progress and you become a whole different version of yourself, and they look at you and they're like, oh, I get it. You're just having a phase. You're trying to figure it out. It's okay. Hey, that's not you, man. This is you. They pull you down. Because even if it's an upward spiral and you're progressing, they're just going to see you for what they once knew of you. Like, they'll never see how good you get, and they'll never see how much you grow. They won't see none of that. They're too stuck on when they knew you. They knew you when. And if you don't fit the image of when, they're like, this isn't him. He's a fraud. If you want to start a new venture, just go. Get out of state, pack your bags and go. Make some new friends. Start something. Know nobody. Be alone and go. It's gonna suck. But in moments of solitude like that, where you're freaking suffering, where you have no one around you, where it's a new environment, where you're scared, and you are so terrified that you're gonna fail, and you have no idea how you're gonna do it because there's rent due, and I promise you're gonna look back on those times like, dude, I made it. I made it past that. And I can make it past freaking anything. Look back on your life. Moments in your life where you're like, dude, it's over. There's no way I can get past this. Remember those times. Remember how painful it was. Like, truly remember. I know that you thought, like, there's just no way I'm going to get past this. And look at you now. You freaking made it past. Do you know why? Time is going to do exactly what she's always done, and she is going to progress. And as time progresses and she continues to move forward, she is going to pull you along with her. And that will wipe away everything. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. It's fleeting. The good, the bad, the unpleasant, and the pleasant. Like, nothing's permanent. So in moments where you're about to give up, where it's a little bit too freaking hard, man, like, I get it. And I hope this freaking channel can do something for you. Like, look at these videos. They're awful. Look at me. Like, it's terrible. It's freaking terrible, man. Right? But you have to keep going. You have to keep going. Just try. Try to keep going. And if I can inspire you in one way, shape, or form to just not give up for another day, then hey, I will die happy. I'll die happily. And this is coming from a dude who left to the military, got kicked out because he dreamed so big that he kind of pissed everyone off at work because he was just so bad, you know? Like, that's what it is. Like, I got out the military, I came home, and I worked at a gym. I came back to my city. I grew. Those 4 years in the military, I grew. And guess where I returned to? My freaking city. And guess what happened? The image that I had didn't fit anyone's image of me. They said, dude, like, this isn't you. Like, just be you. And I said, well, whatever. I just had to take it. And I dreamed so big, and my dreams got crushed. I ended up working at a commercial gym. I'm freaking scrubbing toilets. Like, I'm scrubbing toilets. I'm going in the women's locker room, and I'm picking up bloody tampons out the trash. It was depressing, man. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And for some odd reason, I made it this far. And there's been moments where I wanted to give up, where I didn't want to keep going. Like, seriously, I didn't want to keep going at all. Something bigger than me grabbed me by the neck and said, walk. It wasn't me. I'm not that strong. I am not that capable. I'm only human. I'm only man. Something bigger than me freaking grabbed me and said, go. And you're not done, walk. And whatever that is, that will take care of you too. I call it God. That's what I call it. I call it God. You may call it different. You may call it the cosmos, the universe. I call it God. And if it's going to take care of me, I promise it's going to take care of you. But it takes effort. You give and you receive. So if you don't try, nothing's going to happen. You have to try. And I seriously hope that these videos can be evident that I don't ask anyone to make sacrifices that I have not made. I don't encourage people to take risks that I don't take. Screw fear, man. Screw it. For what? Fear of what? You know, I look back sometimes on my life and I think about times where I'm so scared and I'm wondering like what's the root of it? Like, why am I so scared? And after I regress it down, it's fear of judgment from this person or these people. And I'm like, what the heck? After I regress that down, I'm like, dude, my fear was predicated on being afraid of being judged by these people? These people, I've given them that much power to chain me down so I don't take action? Like it's these people? Oh, man. And I said, there's no way. I have an unpopular opinion, and it's that when things in life go bad, the blame finger should point this way. And the more that the blame finger points that way, the more you can't do anything about it because you've given power to things, quote unquote, outside of your control, which is never the freaking case. You can choose something. Life can tear you down, but you can choose to smile. I'm not saying you can choose to be happy. I gave up on that years ago. But I'm saying you can choose to smile and you can choose to keep going. If you stop, that was your fault. I promise you, failure is impossible so long as you don't stop. If you want to know how to never fail, it's to just keep going. There you go. Failure is truly impossible as long as you don't quit. And so long as you don't quit, you're not going to freaking fail. Isn't that amazing? That there is literally a solution for failure and it's just not quitting. We think there's no solution. We think, oh, we're going to fail. If you keep going, you're not going to. That gives me hope at least. And I hope that gives someone else hope too. You have one life. Don't waste it. And I'll be damned if the reason you don't try is predicated on the fear of being judged by your freaking peers. Like, who cares? They misjudge you, and they say you're different, and they don't know you, and they don't want to be around you, and I remember when I would sleep here. I'm here. I'm sleeping here, and I'm hustling. And I would have days off on the weekend. And no one called me. I'm not trying to give you a sob story or oh poor Thompson, but it's like no one called me. No one wanted to hang out with me. And it became the norm. It became the norm. There's a beautiful quote and it goes, on your way to the top, everyone's rooting for you because you are living the dream that they once had. And so they're saying, let's go, because they used to dream that too, and they see you going, and they're like, yes, let's go, I used to dream. And then when you finally make it to the top, everyone tears you down because you are reminding them of the dream that they let go of. So when you're up there and they're like, boo, come on, man, you think you're oh so mighty? It's because you made them realize that they gave up on their dream and they hate it. They can't stand the fact that they let go of the dream that that they once had. And they can't stand the fact that you held on to that dream. When you turn cold, the world wins. Don't turn cold, not just yet. Build yourself, mold yourself into an impeccable man, an impeccable woman. Give yourself to the world. History repeats itself. Always. You know, when you're young, we get advice from people that are older and we don't care. And when we're older, we give advice to the younger generation and they don't care. Take your own advice and freaking live with no regret and go and never stop. Don't add more value to the grave. The grave is already wealthy enough. So many dreams just watered down and washed away, all right there, underground, in the grave. Don't add value to that place. Take that dream and freaking make it happen here, right now, when you still have breath, when you freaking are still alive. And one day when you have children, you can tell them like, yeah, I never gave up. Or if you currently have kids, you can say, yeah, I'm not giving up. That's something beautiful. That's something, that's a beautiful thing. All that to say, starting a new venture is always difficult. Doing something new is always going to be tough. You're not going to be understood. People are going to make fun of you. They're going to laugh at how bad it is. And you should laugh too. Because it sucks. It's the truth. But you're only going to get better. And no one's going to see how hard you work behind closed doors. But one thing I can guarantee you is they will see how good you get. And they're going to be like, how the heck did you do it? And you're going to say, I didn't stop. I kept going. I never stopped. While you were judging me and tore me down, I kept at it. You need to develop this desire to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly become. I had a conversation with a man when I was working as a janitor at the commercial gym, man. He told me something that I'll never forget. He said, Thompson, look, one day you're gonna die and you're gonna face God. And God's gonna present to you this image of a man that's successful and just amazing in every facet. A wonderful husband, a wonderful father, a wonderful partner, a wonderful brother, a beautiful human, wealthy, everything. And you're not gonna recognize him. And you're gonna say, well, who is this? And God's gonna say, well, this is who I made you to be. You just couldn't step up to the role, and that freaking terrified me, man. Like there's a version of you that you can't even fathom. It's there. You have to build yourself to become that person, but it's there. Don't freaking die and not live up to that. Like you can become that. And I know it seems far away, and that's why depth perception is very important, because if you see something that's very far away, you get unmotivated and you give up. And that's why I always talk about incorporating micro habits, micro goals that you know you can achieve. You know you can. And as you achieve it, you feel as though you're progressing. and you feel as though you're 1% closer towards the final goal. It's not. Set the final goal, set it. The final destination, set that. And figure out what you have to do to slowly get there. Stop trying to figure out how to freaking leap there. Because as you try to figure out how to get from here to here, and you try to figure out how to leap there, you're going to be like, well, nothing's going to work. But if you realize that it takes progression to get there, you're like, okay, well, one day at a time, one step at a time. You watch all these movies and, you have the scenes of when these main characters are down and just distraught. And it only lasts a couple minutes. They train, they fight, they're motivated for 2 minutes, and boom, next thing you know, they're successful. It's not like that. 2 minutes in a movie is freaking like 5 years in real life. Like, don't let that fool you. You don't get motivated, hustle, and boom, you're number one. Like you get motivated, you hustle, and you fail, and you wake up, and you keep going despite failing, and you keep on going, and you go again, and you go again. And we just give up too fast. We always talk about discipline, and we always talk about motivation. It's not about that. It's about desire. Like, how bad do you want something? Will you work hard for whatever it is that you want? And how much are you willing to sacrifice for whatever it is that you want? Sacrifice. Sacrifice. And if you're not able to sacrifice, then I'm unsure what will happen. It's not discipline. It's not motivation. There's none of that. It's sacrifice. Give something up to gain something better. What are you willing to give up? There's a price for everything. The price for progression is comfort. You have to give up your comfort to progress. If you're not willing to pay that price, then don't complain. Even when you know you can afford it. You don't get that luxury of complaining because you weren't willing to pay the price because it was too expensive. Whatever you're doing in life right now, you're not alone. There's people out here in the world that feel just like you. And I promise you, they probably feel worse and they've done it better. And that's something to keep in the back of your head, that someone out there has it worse and is doing it better. If there's one thing I can guarantee you, if there's one thing I know for certain, it's the fact that people have it worse and people do it better. And so your situation, I'm not trying to say you shouldn't feel, just don't be a freaking victim. Like, there's nothing worse than a victim. And lack of opportunity, and so what? Is that your excuse? Really? That's the best you can do? Bad upbringing? Really? Terrible father and mother? Really? Like, that's the best you got? That's the best you got? What about the kid that has no one? Grew up on the streets, like literally, because their parents abandoned him, like, and he grew up on the street. What about him? Don't be a victim. Whatever you went through, use that as leverage. And say, yeah, I didn't have opportunities. So I freaking looked for them. I developed myself. I learned skills so that opportunity would come to me. Instead of saying, oh man, the reason why is because I never had opportunity. Like, be quiet, man. Like just be quiet. Oh man, well, it's because, my father wasn't there and he treated my mother wrong and I had an upbringing. Like shut. Like, be quiet. Just go away. Like, don't be a victim. Own it. No matter what you went through, own it. Because I guarantee you, people have had it worse and there's someone that has done it better. So what the heck is your excuse? And I know we don't want to hear it because we want the world to pity us. Like, oh, boo-hoo. I get it. There was a time where I wanted the world to pity me. Oh, boo-hoo, Thompson, come here. It's okay. We'll hold you. The world is cold. The world doesn't care. And what are you going to do? Because there's two options. You either do or you don't. And when you don't get to complain about the circumstances or the situation that you're in, because you could have taken action to prevent all these things. I'm not telling you this because I'm so much better. I'm telling you this because I've been so much worse. I can guarantee you. If the world tears you down, I'll root for you. Whether you're up or whether you're right here at the bottom, I'm rooting for you. I really am. And this is something that's helped me a lot, and it's that along all my years of progression and trying to transform, I've had a lot of friends. But they were one-way friendships. I had a bunch. Alex Hormozy, Jordan B. Peterson, Carl Young. I had so many friends. It was just, I couldn't talk back. I could just listen to them, right? I had a bunch of friends, right? Tony Robbins, like, these were all my friends. I just couldn't talk to them. They talked to me, and it was a one-way friendship. So you get to choose your friends, and that's something to celebrate. You get to choose your friends, finally. So do research on the people that inspire you. See how they move. See how they speak, how they carry themselves. Enter their minds. And adopt what you want to adopt. Those are your friends. Friends that you can choose. And you may not be able to speak back, but hey, you get to surround yourself with them. And that's your circle. That's the beautiful thing with books and this digital space that we have now. My gosh, the amount of information is mind-boggling. There's so much information that it's too much to consume at times. I get it. So slow your roll, like slow it down. Just move slow. What I do is, if I listen to a podcast or a video or I read a book, I am not moving on to the next book, podcast, or video until I practice everything that I want to practice. Whatever tips or tricks that book, podcast, or audiobook gives to me, I will not move on to the next until I implement every single one of them that I want to into my life. And it begins to integrate. And it begins to help me transform. Only then will I move on to the next. And so I'll listen to the same freaking podcast like 17 times. Read the same book like 5 times. Over and over and over until it becomes a part of me. Knowledge is good. But it's important that you enter a space where no one's teaching you what to think, but you start to learn how to think. When you learn how to properly think, how to think, you get to choose what to think. The world doesn't get to tell you, hey, think this, think this. No, you get to choose what to think. And so you can do whatever you want at that point. All my fighters, all my warriors in the arena. You're not done. Do not confuse the end of a chapter for the end of a great story. Because you have a story to tell, you have a fight to finish, and you're going to come out on top. That's something I can guarantee you. You will come out on top. And perhaps I'm just speaking to myself. Perhaps it may seem that I'm speaking to you and trying to motivate you, but perhaps I'm simply talking to myself to remind myself not to give up. And hey, if that's the case, I'd say it's okay. Don't let the world fool you into thinking that you're worthless. You're worth something. But people just aren't willing to pay the price for you yet. You see what I'm saying? You're not worthless. It's just the world doesn't see your value yet. So show them. Show them. Little growth. Little goals. Progressive growth. Always progressive growth, so long as it's an upward spiral. We don't want to stagnate, and we definitely don't want to go on a decline. Uphill. 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 And the reason why uphill is so tough is because imagine pushing a boulder uphill. It's tough. It's tough. Letting a boulder roll downhill would be a lot easier, right? That's why transforming is difficult, and going downhill is so easy. That's why. It's hard. It's hard. You don't have leverage as you're pushing up. It's just freaking brute force. I wish I could tell you something to make you feel better. I wish I could say everything's gonna be okay. You'll make it. I wish I could tell you that, but it's freaking like it's sheer brute force. Like it's waking up and like just you're going crazy, and it's just brute force, and you just have to not stop. I wish I can tell you something that'll comfort you and make you feel better, but this is the reality. I'm not gonna freaking lie to you. Like, it's freaking just sheer force. And it will pay off. I'm not gonna say when, I don't know when, but it will if you don't stop. And then when you finally get there, like, maybe you can contact me and tell me how you never gave up. Just don't be afraid and don't let the world tear you down. That's the last thing. That's the last thing. Don't let that happen. The world has already torn down millions. Don't add to that number. And please do not add any more value to the grave. The grave is rich enough. Millions of dreams just gone. Don't add more value. Find the thing that makes you feel. Like, find whatever it is that just makes you feel. Like, for me, and this is only for me, I feel best when I give. Like, when I don't care about myself. I seriously don't. Like, I don't care about myself at all. I stopped caring about myself a long time ago. I care about others. I want to help the world. In some way, shape, or form. I don't care about myself. And it makes me feel like I feel good. I feel good sacrificing myself for the sake of others. Like, I feel good, like, not sleeping, embarrassing myself just to give people hope. Starting stuff like this, like my YouTube, and sucking and making videos that are awful. So long as I know that one person will be like, huh, look at him, he's doing it. Yeah, let me try. I could die happy if that's the case. I'll die happily. So find whatever gives you meaning. And, you know, open a notebook and write down all the stupid things you do. Like, okay, well, I do this and this and this, and this isn't that good, and this isn't that good. I'm pretty sure you can name a bunch. I wake up late, and then I don't keep promises to myself. A lot of people, I overeat, I'm lazy, I do this, I have terrible habits. Like, I'm sure you can name a bunch. I sure can. And then start at one. Be like, well, okay, well, if I wake up late, what can I do about waking up late? How does it make me feel? Does it make me feel good? No? Okay, well, if it doesn't make me feel good, what can I do to just make it feel better? Will waking up make me feel better? Yes? Okay, well, why is it so hard to wake up early? And then your brain will start figuring it out. Well, it's so hard to wake up early because I go to sleep late. Why do you go to sleep late? Because I'm always binge watching on my phone. Why are you binge watching on your phone? I binge watch on my phone because I just want to be stimulated. Why do you want to be stimulated, bro? Because I got home after work and I'm bored. And so I wanted to be stimulated. And so I turned on my phone, started binge watching, became addicted. Now next thing you know, I'm up to 2 a.m. Like your brain will figure it out. I promise. It is not hard. Like this right here, this is a freaking supercomputer meant for problem solving. I hope you know that. This is literally meant to solve problems. The problem isn't that you don't know how to solve an issue. The problem is that the issue is already solved and you have a solution, but you're not taking action despite the solution being shown to you. And so you think it's the problem aspect, a solution aspect, when it's a freaking action aspect. And so you get caught up in this limbo of, what do I do? I'm hopeless. You're not hopeless. You just haven't put one foot forward. You found a solution and you're just psyching yourself out. You're too scared. And you don't want to do anything. And I wish I could tell you that I wish I could tell you there's a magic pill that, or just you can just snap your fingers and make whatever you want appear. I wish I can tell you that. Trust me. Sometimes I wish I can do it too. But the hard truth is that you hear this from everybody, and it's just you have to do it. And you hear this time and time again, and you get annoyed because they all say the same thing. Why do you think everyone says the same thing? There's nothing else. You can't wait for someone to save you. I think the moment in every man and woman's life where they begin to transform is when they acknowledge the fact that no one, nothing is coming to save you. Nothing. Like nothing. Like you can sit and wait for a miracle, but it's not gonna come. You are the miracle. And that's something you need to realize. Like you're not waiting, stop waiting on a miracle. You are the miracle. Your life itself is the miracle. Do you know how freaking lucky you are to be here? You are one of one, like so unique. No one, nothing in the entire cosmos can replicate you. Your DNA, your genetic code, nothing can replicate you. You are one of one, like that's miraculous. Stop looking for a miracle. It's here, it's you. Look in the mirror, you're the miracle. And you got it, man, like you got it. Like, don't let the world tear you down. People who will not take initiative will take their fears and take whatever it is that, take their insecurities and they'll push it on you. And what helped me was understanding them, because I remember when I was young and I was miserable and I saw people doing good and I would just shut them down. What's up, loser? Oh, you suck. Like, I remember that. Like, I was such a miserable person. And so when I see that, I'm like, I get it. Like, I can only imagine how tough your life is right now, to where you have to destroy someone, strip someone of their freaking soul because you're that miserable. Like, I get it. I used to be that. Like, I will never sit here in front of this camera have you think I'm perfect. I'm not. I'm freaking messed up, man. Like, and I've implemented micro goals, micro habits to become just 1% better every day. For the sake of my future family, so that my son and my daughter and my wife don't have to freaking suffer because of me. Like, I'll be damned if I let someone suffer because of me. Heck no, man. I'm gonna be the reason my family flourishes. And I hope that you embody that. Be the reason that your family flourishes. You owe it to them. You owe it to the world. It's beyond you. And when you can see things from that frame, that it's beyond you, it's greater than this, you're like, okay, well, let's see what I got. It's gonna be tough. I wish I could tell you it's gonna be easy. The beautiful thing is, you will make it through. And you're gonna develop tenacity that you never even knew existed. And you're gonna see just how capable you truly are. And if you want to open your eyes to your potential, you first have to start taking action. Despite what everyone says. Because people will tear you down. Don't let them. And try to understand them, because imagine the world of pain that they're going through. Please imagine how much pain someone has to go through to freaking tear you down and make fun of you and hate you. Like, that's a world of pain. Like, you have no idea what's happening behind closed doors. Understand them. And when you see that, you're like, your heart softens. You feel for them, and it's like, it's okay. Like, hey, come on, give it to me. I'll bear it. I'll bear that burden. Yes, give me all your negativity. It's okay, brother. It's okay, sister. It's okay. I understand you, right? And that's a beautiful thing. Just be careful. Not everyone's built like that. Sometimes people crack. If words make you crack, just be careful adopting that framework. If words don't make you crack, then hey, I say adopt it, because the closer we come to understanding one another, the less we divide, and the sooner we unite, I think we'll be one step closer towards salvation and making the world a better place for the next generation. And I think that's what we have to do. We have to work hard. We have to leave something for the next generation, because guess what? They're gonna need guidance, just like we needed guidance. So be a leader. Guide them. Give. Inspire the next generation. Help them become better, so that this world doesn't end up in shambles and flames and anarchy. Be the reason that the world takes one step closer towards progression. Help the children that are coming and are gonna grow up and get a taste of how difficult life really is. Like, think about them. Because you and I both know how difficult life can be. Make it easier for the children that's growing up. Make the world a better place. And it starts with you. It starts with you. You have something to give to the world, and I get it. You may not know what it is yet, but you'll figure it out. But it's something like whatever it is that you do naturally that you're just amazing at, that when you do it, people look at you like, what the heck? How do you do it? And to you, it's another day at the park, another day. I think you need to latch on to that. Like, that might be your gift. Like, open your eyes. That's probably your gift. Take that, mold it, perfect it, enhance it, and give that to the world. Whatever it is. Is it talking? Is it speaking? Is it writing? Is it songwriting? Is it your voice? Are you melodic? Can you sing amazingly? Is it your energy? Are you just full of sunshine? What is it? Do you make the best fried chicken in the world? Like, what is it? That you got something to give to the world. So give. And I promise that when you do that, despite how unavailable happiness is, you will naturally just feel amazing. That I can promise you. 100%. Think about the children. Think about your child. Think about the sacrifices that people made for you so that you wouldn't perish, and do that for them. If some of you are blessed enough to have a mother and a father, think about the sacrifices that they made for you so that you wouldn't have to perish how they did and go through what they went through. And so it's your job to extend that to the next generation. Don't let go. Don't lose hope. To float around and drift in this world hopeless is the worst feeling. Don't become that. Don't become void and hopeless, just drifting with no meaning. Don't do it. And if you know how that feels, then hey, you know that it's not the best feeling. Screw fear. Go. Little goals, little habits, and watch right before your eyes the person that you transform into. And everyone's gonna be like, what the heck? And you're just gonna look at them like, yep, you don't even know the half. All the nights staying up crying, the insanity in your head, waking up sick to your stomach, wanting to throw up because you just don't know if it's gonna happen. And you get to own that, and you get to say, I just didn't stop. Get to the top, man. I'll meet you up there. I'm watching you climb, and I'm climbing with you, and I'll see you up there. And I'll be damned if I make it up there before you. And I'll be damned if I make it up there and I don't see you there with me. Like, I'll meet you at the top, see you there. We're gonna climb at different rates. You may climb faster than me, I may climb faster than you, but I will see you up there. Like, don't let me down. Like, meet me up there. Like, meet me there, please. Like, I'm waiting for you, you know? You got this, man. Like, you got it. Like, you get it. If you know how to suffer for an insane amount of time, and you can freaking put off whatever you want and suffer and swallow the glass and just eat, and you can just eat the BS, like, you get it. Like, you got it. Like, any kid I meet that's like, bro, like, I'll sacrifice like 5-10 years, like, he gets it. Like, all right, that kid's got it. That kid's got it. Good luck on your endeavors. Just go. And if I can lead by example, I will. Because this is me just going. And I suck. And I know I suck. And people make fun of me. And it's okay, because it's true. And so it doesn't affect me, because the stack of evidence is it's true. Why would the truth hurt? Well, it's truth. Crush it. Never stop.